Most importers stay with a freight forwarder they stopped trusting a long time ago, not because they are satisfied, because leaving feel more dangerous than staying. And they are not wrong to be careful because there are goods still in transit. Suppliers who are used to send the whole warehouse, years of documentation sitting inside someone else's system. And there's one clause that in the terms almost everyone accepts without reading on day one. That explains why some importer discover at the worst possible moment that leaving is not entirely their own decision to make. So here is the order to do this in, so that never happens to you. So the first decision is not who, it is when. Before you choose a new provider, look at the shipment calendar. The worst moment to switch is in the middle of the shipment cycle. Goods already being collected, space booked, responsibility is not clearly assigned. That is when problems fall between two companies, and each one tells you the others is responsible for. The cleanest moment is that to get between the shipment after the current cargo has been delivered and cleared before the next pickup is scheduled. Most importer has the natural window like that. Find yours and build the change around it. And unless the situation is already critical, avoid switching during your busiest season. A change that would normally be the manageable become much more harder when every shipment it is urgent. And the cost I mentioned, depending on your contract and the applicable law. A freight forwarder may have what it called the right of lien over the good in its position, which means an unpaid balance can sometimes complicate or delay the release of your own cargo. This is common in freight forwarding contract or standard trading condition, and the exact right depending on your agreement and the justification. It is not a scary story. It is usually written in the terms that you accept when you open the account. So before you announce anything, clear the invoice you agree with and put any dispute amount in written. You know exactly what it remains unpaid, what it is disputed, and how it will be resolved. You should also confirm whether they are currently holding anything that belongs to you, stock, sample, packaging, return of good waiting for the consolidation. Ask for a written inventory when the relationship is still normal. You never want to start a negotiation of the release of your own cargo after the company has learned you are leaving. A surprising amount of the knowledge about your own supply chain can sit inside your freight forwarders or your broker system instead of yours. Before the transaction, gather what is available: past custom declaration, commercial invoice, packing list, bill of lading, shipment reference, delivery record, and the classification code used for the product. The classification history matters the most. Every import product is declared under a tariff classification, usually based on the HS code system. That code can affect the duties you pay, the restriction that apply, and the documentation required for clearance. If a new broker suddenly used a different code for the same product, customer may ask why the classification changed, and then you need to have a previous record plus the technical information to support the new decision. So build a simple list, each product in its description and the product that the previous used. That means the old code was automatically correct. It means that your new broker reviewed the history instead of starting blank. Your bill of lading method too. They identify the shipment, and depending on the type of your document, can affect who is entitled to claim or control the cargo. Keep copies in your own file rather than relying permanently on someone else's system. Your suppliers are the people physically hand over the goods. If they are confused, transactions stop immediately. Send them a clear change over message before the new process starts. The new pickup address, the new contact person, the new booking procedures, and the exact date from which it appears. So ask one to confirm they receive it. Do not assume the email was read. A supplier who publicly saw it is a supplier who called your own folder on pickup days. Supplier you source yourself stay under your direct control. If your freight forwarder introduce factory or also act as your sourcing agent, check the agreement first, particularly on a confidential or non-disclosure. On pickup day, the suppliers should know exactly who to contact and where the goods should go. Nothing more complicated than that. Never transfer your entire volume on day one. Choose one test shipment, ideally not your largest order, not the urgent launch, not the cargo tied to the fixed customer deadline, and normal replacement with enough flexibility to absorb a small delay. And understand that what you are actually testing, not whether they are moving goods. Everyone can move cargo. Do they really pick up on time? Do they reply quickly when the supplier change the carton count? Do they check the documentation before the departure or after? Do they warn you about the risk before it becomes a problem? And when you ask a questions, do you get a clear answer? A good first shipment gives you evidence the process works, and bad one give you the same information without putting your whole supply chain at risk. For a short period, you will have a shipment moving through both systems. This is normal. What creates confusion is not the overlap, it is failing to define which company owns each shipment. So write the transaction point down. Anything booked after a specific date belongs to the new one. Send that to both companies and do every suppliers involved. Then for each open shipment, record the responsibility forwarders, the current status, and the documentation received, the payment status, and the next action. A simple share table is enough. Most of the mess in a freight forwarder's switch come from a one shipment nobody was quite sure they were handling. So even if you are not planning to switch yet, there's one thing that you can do this week. Ask for a copy for the shipment record, the declaration or the classification history available through your own current freight forwarders and your custom broker. Store them somewhere you control. A strong partner will either send you what they hold and tell you clearly where you can get them. You should never depend entirely on one company to understand your own import history. And when you do decide to change, and the order is what to protect you, choose the window, resolve the account, security your record, inform your suppliers, test one shipment, define the overlap. That is the difference between changing freight forwarders or creating a supply chain crisis. If you are evaluating a change, we regularly handle the documentation handover, the suppliers coordination, and the overlap period for our client. You can contact us. The link is in the description. If you learned something today, like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell button. We share what really happens behind importing from China. Thanks for watching. Bye.